All right, welcome back to Basement Buzz. I'm your host, Lewis, joined by my co-host.
Proceed.
And today we have a very special guest, in that being...
John McCann. What's up, everyone?
But welcome. We were very excited to have you on today.
Cool.
I guess I'm just going to start with what made you initially, apply to be on our podcast and stuff.
Sure. So I definitely love Jamaica Plain, and I thought it was a total vibe. And I listened to previous interviews, and just the way that you talk to people and stuff, and that you genuinely take a passion for what they stand for, what they are. It's very chill, and I personally feel like it was a really good opportunity for me. I really am very artistic myself, and I definitely am someone who is very into the art scene. So
yeah.
Yes, I love your pillows here too. Inclusive space.
Yeah,
I feel very seen.
Yeah, here at Diversity, we really try to
diversity is beautiful.
we try to make sure everyone feels safe, everyone's open.
You know what make me feel more inclusive though is if I have my own plushie. Do we have any plushies here?
There's one over
there you go. Perfect. Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, I have all the plushies over here.
That's totally fine. Yeah, that's fine. As you see all the plushies, this one's my height. It's actually kind of nice or whatever because it's so tall or whatever. My feet practically dangle off this, but
yeah. It's funny. This couch. Not many people know this. This couch is actually also it folds out into a bed.
Yeah. It's definitely kind of looks like that. It's kind of like a futon vibe.
Yeah.
Actually, I have one at my house. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's cool. When we have guests over, my husband Steve and I, will end up. Having people come, and we will have them over, and we'll put out the futon for them and get the sheets out and get the bedding out.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. I was gonna say, staying on the theme of sharing space and inclusivity and stuff like that. I wanted to ask you about the We're Not Really Strangers project that you do, and just kind of tell us about it because it's really interesting and it's kind of all about what we're about as well.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing I was going to ask you guys about whenever you reached out to me too. I'm that's so awesome. I'm what is it about me that you like or that you wanted to find out? So obviously I'm a photographer, and we'll go over that as well. But starting with We're Not Really Strangers, that really kind of goes into my passion for photography. About beginning of last year, I was kind of looking for a creative outlet. I knew that I really liked photography, but I wanted to start talking with people in Boston who were willing to meet with me, period, and just do this game, because Bostonians are definitely known, and I get this, but they're known for being quiet and reserved, and basically we're just kind of known for sometimes keeping to ourselves. So I wanted to show people that there are people out there who want to connect, and there are people who don't want to connect too. But I've met a lot of great people, and some of them are just I won't say that they're people off the street, because I do speak with them online, and the reason that I have to start an initial conversation is so that they know how it works. And what I do is I record the conversation much in the same way that we are now, and I do that on purpose, and it's confidential, but I tell them I'm recording it, so when I'm beginning to write about you and beginning to talk about you, that I'm writing something about you that you have said, not what I'm guessing, not what I'm trying to remember, exactly what you said. And I always tell people, I'm if you share something personal with me and you don't want to have that as part of the feature, that does happen quite a bit. That will happen, and I'll say that's okay, that's absolutely fine. I'm I can delete a portion of the the audio message, I can delete it entirely afterwards. I'm I just needed to write about. But one of the most beautiful things is that with my personality, I'm able to have people come to me and tell me things or open up about things that they they might not, or they'll say something like, I don't want you to put this in here, but I will, share this with you. I will share with you, to answer the question.
Yeah.
And the game is really cool, but I like that the questions aren't like, they're not obscene. They're deep and they're tough, but they are not obscene. The first level isn't. The first level is cute, and it's like, like, do you think I like to drink coffee or whatever? And then, the second level is kind of more like, what's something that you've given up in your life, or how honest are you whenever you're asked how you're doing. So but I have met some amazing people. I will seriously say that this project has absolutely 110% personally changed my life. I am very extroverted, and my husband Steve would really, kind of be more identified as like an ambivert. But he's been incredibly supportive. He'll usually go with me. There's a couple of times where he hasn't gone with me, but usually he'll come too, and he'll just listen in, or we'll, be doing something together, and it's really cool. So he kind of gets to meet them too, and they kind of get to see where I'm coming from. But I've met so far, I've met at least like 15 people, if not more, so far since I began. I really kind of stuck to it, and I write about them. And one cool thing is, like, I keep changing it. Like in 2023, I kind of wrote from a way, in a sense, where it was like one-liner. So we would play all 3 levels, and then I would put like one line out, like, like so-and-so likes this, and it was still really cool and interesting, but it was a little less impersonal.
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right, let's take it back a little bit. Let's slow this down, and let's really start to like write about people. So in addition to, my final thoughts of the encounter, or what I think about them, as a whole, there's a little bit more depth about who they are. So you're really seeing that. And the way that I tie it into my, my photography is I'll take photos of them there with the cards, and I'll do stuff. But then typically after we're done, as long as I have time, I'll go out with my film camera, and we will, capture them, I will capture them in a way. And, after the feature, then I'll put the film photos there. So you've already gotten to know this person, and then there's one extra additional post. I'm like, here is this person, here's what I can tell you about them that they're willing to share, and then here's their beauty. And like, that's what I like. Here's something really creative. And it's really cool. But most people, I'm very lucky, and perhaps it's my personality or the way that I work, but I am able to have them, either do like interesting poses, or I'm able, kind of get them out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Something I love to pose people with flowers. I really like flowers. Not all the time, but, just in a very like interesting way to have like a prop or something there. That's something that I love. So it's cool. But I have written about some people, and I brought it with me, so if you don't mind, I was just going to read you like 1 or 2 of the people that I met with, like the final thoughts, and then just so you can kind of get an idea of who they are without seeing who they are. But if you listen to it, it'll be pretty cool. Okay?
Sure. Yeah, I'll get that.
Gotta get out my iPad.
While you do that, though, I was gonna say that I feel like, through COVID and even the times that we're in right now, what you're doing is so important.
Thanks.
Like you said, a lot of Bostonians can be reserved, and just through COVID, it's kind of even magnified that. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wants to kind of be inside. Everyone's just on their phones a little bit, just kind of in your own world. And I think it's really important that we highlight the good people, the people that want to, build community. Yeah. The people that want to keep on bringing goodness to the world when, there's a lot of darkness and a lot of bad energy and bad vibes going on,
There is, but if I'm being blunt with you, like in Boston and what I found with meeting people, you're absolutely right, Ferris, and thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. But we're really a city of people who are just trying to get through their day. Yeah. Like, this isn't New York City. I'd say that maybe we'd be similar to somewhere like, New Jersey, or another city, on the East Coast that's middle-sized. But it's such a wonderful city, and I knew that there were people here, but I really try to make an effort to not just find people who are in college or younger. I try to find older people and be like, will you come and, meet with me, and will you come and talk about this? So, will you play this game, and will you let me write about me? But thanks. I do think that there is, and right now COVID's over, but I think that as we continue to grow, whatever, it's definitely a positive. I just like showing people that there's cool people in Boston.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. That's what it's really about.
Let me just get this up here.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll read to you the first person that I met with, and then I'll read to you about a guy that I met with, after that, and he really, changed me, so like what he told me.
Yeah.
So here's final thoughts about the encounter about a girl named Isabella. This is the first girl I ever played this game with, okay?
Yeah.
As the first individual to play the game with me for this ongoing project, I was incredibly grateful and lucky to meet someone as honest as Isabella. Every life is full of puzzle pieces that, when put together, create a beautiful and unique story. Not all the pieces come together easily or at once. But here I met a person who has already figured out some of the puzzle pieces that are supposed to combine. I am confident I have found some of those puzzle pieces too, and in that we are alike. Isabella, I'm so happy we met. So this girl and I talked about typical struggles, with the everyday, but the thing that I really admired about her is that she was in a relationship where everything just worked or put together. She wasn't coming to me, and it felt very similar to my life with my husband, and it, just kind of got to a point where I just really realized that I resonated with her.
Yeah.
And I'll read one more for you. So this is a guy named Sonny. Sonny is absolutely amazing. He moved here from London, and he decided to start his life back here. So he didn't have to, but he decided that he wanted to move to Boston. And he's a very positive person. He's a digital creator, but he does a little bit more reels than I do. But what he said really impacted me. So this is my final thoughts of meeting with a guy named Sonny, okay? Meeting Sonny was extremely rewarding. He gave me a new perspective of the definition of the words nice and kind, where kindness is the key, the most important factor of your behavior towards others. And as for the word nice, it made me evaluate the difference in behavior between being polite and being sincere. I often ponder which of the two is most effective. When Sonny told me you can change your life at any time, I have to say I agree with him. Every once in a while, I find something exciting to be passionate about that creates a new element of my personality. One of Sonny's best talents is his ability to share Boston's aesthetics of each season through what he posts on social media. The changing of the leaves in the fall, a quiet, cloudy winter day where the snow has just appeared, a helpful post with feedback on a restaurant, on all of this through his iPhone. He films with his iPhone. He doesn't film with the camera, as far as I know, but back then he was. So. And at some point on any typical day, you will find yourself heading out to take care of life's required tasks. Sonny is doing the same, but uniquely so in that he is capturing the magic of Boston while he is doing it. The most charming end to this encounter is me realizing that I met someone who moved here passionate about becoming something I have been my entire life, a Bostonian.
Wow, that was really good.
Yeah, I really did. Obviously in my posts and on my Instagram, there are obviously other posts about, what we talked about and discussed, but it was so cool because it was so relaxed and it was so chill, but then he was he's by the way, he's this, and this, so just gotta pick these up real quick. But, yeah, thanks. But I really appreciate it. I really enjoy doing it, and I'm always open, for new people. If other people want to come and meet with me or chill, and I love coming to, I pick. I usually tell people I'm pick a cafe that you're comfortable with, and if they're I don't care, then I pick one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But I really appreciate it, so thanks.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that's doing anything, especially in the Boston area.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think that of course we do have a lot of creative people and, a lot of people coming together. But I think it's just kind of starting to cultivate into something that's a little bit greater. So to hear that you're doing something like that, it's just very uplifting.
Do you know like the feeling what it's like to have just people now like, and it does not happen often, but it does still happen. They're just reaching out to me. They're like, hey, I saw what you wrote about this person. I really like this. I want to be a part of this project. I want to be part of something else. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no.
You know, but it's really cool. Like, I'm really, really happy, and it makes me feel really good. So, but yeah, so thank you so much. I really appreciate what you said. I definitely feel like I've made a difference, and it's not the only thing, but really, if I'm being blunt with you both, like what I really want to show is that Bostonians are special, but we're also everyday people.
You know?
Yeah.
Because we have such bad like narratives and connotations about being Bostonians sometimes.
Yeah.
And like, I know when I went to school, like everyone was like, oh, so like, you know, you just drink tea all the time.
What?
I'm like, what? They're like, oh, the British are coming. I'm like, oh, okay. That's
It's
what
like
you're
that
thinking
happened
about.
like 300 years ago.
It's either that or like all of our sports fans are super
Oh, you saw
racist.
Tom Brady, right? So,
Yeah,
it's like
that's
Larry Bird, right?
like that's all we are.
like
now?
yes, exactly. Like the dude's handsome. Like I get it. Like you know, like I'm always like Tom Brady. I'm like, oh, do you know he does Hertz ads now? Like the cars.
I didn't even know that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's on the TV all the time. There's some woman there or whatever, and she's just being cute, like do, and you're like, let's go, and it's like constantly, let's go, and like that's the commercial.
Yeah.
All right, he earns more in that like 30-second spot than I have probably all year.
And there's one shift that I'm working.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. But like I'm happy for him. It's really cool. Like I want to make a positive, not a negative, and I do think that it's cool. And growing up here, especially you know in you know on the South Shore too, there's just a big sports culture here.
Yeah.
There's a big arts culture too, but it's definitely within the city. You don't see that same level of influence in the you know town. So
Yeah.
but it's all good. So, but yeah, I mean, so like I was saying, so we talked about that, and I'm looking forward to. I'll just end with this. I'm really looking forward to the other people that I'm going to be featuring, you know, this year, and I've already got like at least 3 to 4 that I'm going to be featuring, and they're really cool people. I'm looking forward to writing about them, and ending this year and starting another. Last year, actually, I met so many people that I literally had to stop. And then in January of 2024, I had to put, I met these people, during the holidays, 2023, which wasn't a big deal, but I sometimes wonder, if I'm going to stop, but now that I started, I really don't want to, because it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's something that, I decided that I would do, so, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think, when you find your passion, why would you
want to do anything else?
Yeah.
When you really find something that speaks to your soul, especially having a platform to really just let people know about what it's like being in Boston, Massachusetts, or something like that. I think, you just have to keep on going.
I try to do that every time, and I do that too. And I won't post it on my website, but I have this website that's called Stories from a Gay Bostonian, and I do similar, but it's nothing we're not really strangers. It's just places that I'll go once a month, and I love photography so much, and whether it's digital and my husband Steve is taking it, or I have my film camera and I'm just capturing something, I will end up posting that online. But I actually really like that, because people who aren't from here, I'm like, look, it's Boston, it's Massachusetts, but it's not like the duck boats, and it's not like the Swan. I'm like, it's not like Faneuil Hall. You're not gonna catch me. I've gone to Winthrop, to one of my favorite places where I love to plane spot and watch the planes come in, and there's a park in North Weymouth called Webb Memorial. That place is really nice, and I did photos there. And then I've taken photos, Davis Square in Somerville, which those are pretty standard, and most people know about that. But just kind of once a month, this is somewhere I went, and these are photos that I took, and just showing people that even if the story is mundane or it's small, like you went to Davis Square and you grabbed boba, there is a way that you can capture the photos and what was happening around you and write something about it.
Yeah.
And I just show that because people are like, oh my God, like what am I going to share? I have all these photos, or what am I going to share? I try to show people you can do something simple, and it's just, you know, something that you look at once a month and you digest it and you're like, oh, that was nice, or that was a nice memory. But, you know, at the same time I'm sharing my photography, so, and writing, you know. I really do like to write. I didn't realize that until the beginning of last year when I started the We're Not Really Strangers project, but I really do like to write, and now it's just a big part of who I am. So yeah, but I brought some photos too. I was just gonna show you guys or whatever.
Yeah, that's how I feel about like doing this podcast too. Like when I first started it, because back when we first started, it was just like me and my boss Ian, and we were just kind of talking about just random stuff. Then Rashid got hired, Rashid got introduced, and then we kind of pushed Ian out. Sorry, Ian, but
we gave him a little nudge.
Yeah, and then we kind of just took over the reins, and we've been going ever since. And honestly, like it's been one of the best things. Well, closest second best things that we ever done here, to be honest.
That's really cool. I think that it's, when I saw it, I was like, oh, you know, it's a consignment, it's a thrift store, and I'm like, that's really cool. And then, you know, we're like, when you have a podcast, but then when I saw the video and I saw this room, I'm like, this is such a vibe. And like the lights, it's like, it gives a very, like, it's definitely basement. It's kind of, it's a very den, like this building is so traditionally New England.
Yeah.
But you guys both grew up here, right?
Yeah.
It's traditionally New England. It's
Yeah.
very den. It's like dad's dad, like
Exactly.
dad's cave.
Yeah.
You know?
We talk about living here all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
I totally would.
I could kind of see it, you know? There is, you know, it's funny because there is enough room down here. You know, there's obviously all the clothes there, but there's enough room here to put like a bed or, you know, like a futon here, and you already have the TV.
Yeah.
It's inviting. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So,
And that's really the atmosphere that we're trying to create for everyone. You know, just a place that you don't feel judged. You feel completely open to just be yourself and shop and just try to be the most you that you can be. Honestly.
Truly, it doesn't matter who you are. Just put on whatever you want to put on. Nobody here will judge you.
yeah, I definitely see that. I say, you know, it's funny you say that though, because you guys want, if I'm admitting something to you, Massachusetts is the only place, I'll go anywhere and dress like whatever the fuck I want, but Massachusetts is the only place where I explain to people that I feel comfortable dressing and presenting myself the way that I do. Like,
Yeah.
It's different. Like I feel very comfortable anywhere I go. And like obviously like when you're like in Boston, like if I walk like wearing like what I wear like through Fenway, like you get like some people like looking at you or like what or whatever, like where's your Red Sox uniform?
Yeah.
You know? Where's your Red Sox shirt? But it's not, you know, it's not it's just, it's so cool. Like it's hard to explain, but it just feels like when you walk down the street here or whatever and you see someone colorful, whether they assume something or not or whatever, it's like, oh, like this person's flamboyant or like this person, it's like okay. Kind of like where somewhere else it might be like, oh, like that person is like really loud or really colorful, like that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That still does happen here, but I don't see it a lot.
Yeah,
I
no,
sure
agree.
as hell don't see it in JP.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely.
But isn't it cool that there's a city where like there's only one JP and there's only one place like JP,
Yeah.
but there are other parts of the city that resonate that same mindset.
Yeah.
So they're not JP, but it's the same mindset. This is why I like living here. This is how I explain to people why I like Boston. That's why I won't leave.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we all have like an overarching kind of vibe to all the boroughs and all like the towns and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I think.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite suburbs. It's like it borders, you know, like Brookline and the west part of Boston. So like it's definitely a place where you have to. I want to say it's definitely a place where you have to, you know, like it takes a little bit longer to drive here than it might, you know, like parts of Milton or, you know, I drove through, you know, Dorchester and stuff. So
Yeah.
whenever I go there. But this is definitely one of my favorite parts of Boston. This and Southie. I actually really like Southie. I like to drive through there, and I like what is it? The area that borders over by what is it? Ink Block, like the art that's on Ink Block under the bridge now, or not under the bridge, under the highway.
That's kind of like Chinatown area, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's another place I need to capture on my film camera. I think I captured some of it, but not all of it. So
Yeah.
I really like Chinatown. That's a very scenic part of Boston. It's small, but you guys seen the fountain that's over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of can't miss it, but I like how they included that as part of the Rose Kennedy Greenway. Don't even get me started on that, because I love the Rose because I was alive when that highway was above ground. Were you too?
No.
No.
At least I wouldn't even remember it, to be honest.
I think I was actually.
Yeah, I just wouldn't remember. I think, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a mess. It was just constantly traffic and backups, and
Yeah.
you're just very lucky that all you know is a Rose Kennedy Greenway, like you were saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was gonna show you guys my camera, but I'll just show you real quick if you want to take a look real fast. I have some of my photos, so I'll let you go through and just go left to right or whatever. But these are like photos that I've taken, and some of them are online, and some of them are are just on here or whatever. But that's like stuff that I've shared online.
Oh wow.
I'll grab my cameras out. Let me know if you have a favorite, and I'll talk about it, but you don't have to.
Right. Okay, we need to know where's this one.
Oh, actually, that's a great story. Okay. Hold on.
For all you people watching.
Yeah, let's show everyone at home.
Yeah.
Let's show everyone at home. Okay. So this is actually so rad. I was so honored. So that is Westin in Lake Las Vegas. It's one of my favorite places I've ever been. And when we went there, they had they have this like back area that sits on the lake.
Yeah.
And this is about like a half an hour outside of Las Vegas. And I took that photo on like Ultra Max 400. It's just like standard film.
Yeah.
And I loved it because when I took it, they reached out to me after I tagged them and said, can we put it onto our website? And like, can we use your photos? And so there's that one, and then, oh, hold on, my bad. And then that one. So that one is on Westin's main site, and then this one is on Westin Lake Las Vegas. So I was really flattered, but it was so random. So see that one there with the palm trees? I love that, right? So Westin Corporation put a comment on there, the view you see before you turn into the hotel. So that is not the hotel. That is like the private property. Oh. And I love it, but it just like, I thought it was really cool, but they definitely don't own that.
Yeah.
But it is beautiful, and the palm trees are symmetrical, so I really liked it. You know, like it just has a really good look. But the other one is in Lake Las Vegas, so I absolutely highly recommend, if you're in Lake Las Vegas or whatever, checking out any of the areas there. Like I said, that's the Westin, and I really enjoyed myself. But I'm not like plugging any specific hotel or anything. I just it was really cool. Whatever, it was nice. We stayed there for a night, but in the morning it was really cool, and we saw coyotes. So, and then that's just New York City, but that's on a film called Lomacro Metropolis. It's got like the silver vibe. You see the silver there?
Yeah.
How it's not like just the way the water looks, and that's one of my favorite film stocks. I love those.
I really like this one.
Yeah.
The flowers.
Yeah, I like that one. That one's my favorite too, but I love this one. I love the detail in the flowers, but I really do like that one too.
Yeah.
But thanks, I really appreciate it. That one, I'm really lucky that I had like enough light to get it, so. But it was a vibe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then that's called Grid Film. So that's from a company called Brooklyn Instant Film Initiative. And just show that one up there, whatever, so everyone can see it. Yes! So that one, it's actually on the film. So that's not...
Like an edit or anything?
It's edited. That's on the film. So you take the photo and that's what you get. So they added on there, so.
That's really cool. Ooh.
Yeah.
Thanks. so that one's there. The vibe, and then that's Belle Isle, Mara. I show my friend Andy, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So, and that's Pride. Could you tell?
Yeah.
Surprise! Thanks, man.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, all those photos are beautiful.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. I like them all. I really like the ones of my husband, and the reason why is because I'm very lucky if I get to post a photo of him online. And he's, which I respect. He's very specific about which ones he does. So.
Yeah.
But thanks. I really appreciate it. I'm really proud of what I've captured so far. So.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, really.
So, if you guys are cool with it, I thought as an end, what we could do to end this vibe, we had a conversation about we're not really strangers and photography, so on and so forth, is to answer one of the questions from the final round. So level 3 of the game is reflection.
Yeah.
And I know which one I'm going to ask you guys, but I'm going to hand you the rest of the cards, and you guys can pick anyone from this list, and you can ask me, and then I will ask you both my final question.
Okay.
That's cool. All right. So go ahead and shuffle them, and we'll take turns. Oh, you can do that, but you gotta. You can just you can choose whichever one you want, or yeah, do that. Normally with this game, you just pick one up and you get surprised by it, but we'll do it this way too. That's fine.
You know what? I got you.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Which is totally fine. I should have said it differently.
Yeah, this one.
Okay. Here, I'll take those back. I'll just put them down here. Oh, yes.
Wow.
Okay. What just happened?
I'm not sure how applicable mine is.
Mine works.
Okay.
Mine definitely works.
You can choose another one if you want. There are other ones here. I tell people all the time when I play this, if you get a question you don't want, you can ask another one. You want to ask another
I'll
one?
take a different one.
Okay, so let me see that, and you pick another one. No problem.
The heart of the cards. Ow.
Yeah, just make sure you're comfortable asking it or answering it. That's all.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, I like this one actually.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So which one of you wants to go first? I'm going last.
Yeah.
So.
I guess we could do it. Yeah. What parts of yourself do you see in me?
I see like your relaxed vibe, and I see your sincerity. So like even whenever I walked in and I said hi to you, and this was our first time meeting, I definitely felt like you were just a genuine person, and just talking to you both online or whoever's on Instagram at the time.
That was
I figured
the both of us.
Yeah,
Most of me.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you really care. Like I had an idea. You both were like, we're open to your ideas, and I really appreciated that, because this is your podcast. But I just, I wanted to kind of like collaborate with you guys, and I see that you kind of like see the world in color. Is the way that I kind of feel. When I talk to you, you don't maybe you kind of like see things kind of like as an ebb and flow of like creativity or art, and it's part of your personality, and that's beautiful because not everyone has that. So that's the way I'd answer that question.
Thank you. Yeah.
What is a lesson you will take away from our conversation?
That this basement is a total vibe. Is a memory, but a lesson that I'll take is that what I'm doing is something that you feel, and I think that others feel is important for the city of Boston, and something that I am impacting people, and my photography is impacting people, and that's what really matters to me. So I think that that's really the lesson that I'll take from this, just to keep going, which is what I really like doing as a person. But, seriously, before I ask you my question, thank you both for being so supportive. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's so genuine. Not that you wouldn't be, but just when you see someone and what they do and what they stand for, and you just look at someone and be like, it's cool, it's meaningful, it means something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always get that, so I really appreciate it from the both of you.
Of course.
All right. So I'm going to ask you both, so you can answer in whatever order you want. You can both choose. What has this conversation taught you about yourself?
Wow.
Yep.
That's a good
That's the
question.
one.
That's a great question.
What has it taught you about yourself?
You wanna?
Give me maybe 15 more seconds.
Yeah,
You
of
can go-
course.
you can
Take
go
your
first
time.
if
There's
you-
no,
yeah, if you have an
there's no
answer.
rush. There's no rush. It
Yeah,
takes a few.
I definitely need to think about that.
I try not to stare at the person while they're thinking. It's so much easier when you're in a cafe with a latte and you're like,
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What has this conversation taught you about yourself?
Mm-hmm.
What have you taken from our chat?
Mm-hmm.
And it says the word taught, but it's
it's
open ended.
Yeah.
What is something that you maybe see now that you didn't before? Something that you already did see, but you're reaffirming.
Yeah.
These questions are tough, huh?
It's a good game.
Well,
It is a good game.
personally, because I'm just getting into like photography and stuff, and I know you kind of mentioned earlier like you were kind of like a amateur photographer basically, and like your pictures came out like very like professional. Like to even call yourself an amateur is like you can't even say that.
Thanks.
And I feel like one thing I kind of do in terms of when I take pictures and when I'm about to post stuff for the stores, like I'm like, oh, this isn't good enough, or these aren't that wet, like these aren't like the lighting's wrong and this, that, and the other. But I think I just need to stop being so hard on myself and actually like give myself more credit for my work, because I just
Ask for feedback if you're not sure about it, or ask for advice on it. But yeah, be confident. Pick if you have like 5 photos in a row, go through them, pick the one that you really like, and then ask somebody else for feedback. And there's nothing wrong with that. I do that all the time too. You know, what do you think? You know, the worst thing is with film, whenever you miss exposure or something's really dark, it's like I'll try to bring something up that actually happened with one of my friends. It was darker and I brought it up, and you know, before I posted online of them, I'm like, I think I've gotten this to a point where it's acceptable, but what do you think about this? Do you think that that reflects you? And that's hard to do, but it's better than not knowing. And if that person, that individual tells me no, or says, I really like what you did, but I don't think it's great, I don't really want that displayed, that's okay. Then you just like, okay, it's like we gotta keep going or whatever, we gotta try something else. But I think a lot of the photos in the setup here is great, and the photos on the feed for, you know, diversity it's cool. So, but thanks for answering that question.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I would say my answer is that you know, you were saying that you can tell that I see things in color and stuff like that, and I feel like me as a person, I try to see things from a lot of different perspectives and just look at things out of the box, because I feel like we kind of live in a very black and white world sometimes. And you know, just a lot of the situations and the people I've been meeting and just the stuff I've been going through, I would say that it's kind of making, and you know, you just go through those phases where you feel like you want to reserve yourself and you want to, you know, just let things be that black and white, and just kind of let one thing be one thing and one thing be the other. But you know, in this time, like, there's nuance to everything, and why would we ever limit ourselves to that black and white narrative, and to just keep on living life the way that I live it, and not letting anyone take that color away. Truly.
Exactly. I know it's such a like say what you feel or what you want to do, and there's also the point, if you really say what you feel or you say something, you know, out loud, sometimes it could backfire on you. But if it's done from a good place, that's really what matters. That's what I tell people. Like, it might be hard, but you know, Boston's definitely one of those cities where it's just easiest to just say whatever, you know, is on your mind or whatever. But just remembering that there are consequences to, you know, your actions sometimes too. But I think that's cool, whatever. And you should keep going. You should speak your truth, and that's just how you live and how you vibe. But keep seeing, you know, everything the way that you do, and let the rest all kind of fall in. That's what I've learned about life. You just kind of let it all fall into place. Cool. Thank you for answering my question.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
It was a lot of fun.
No problem. This was so awesome. Do you guys have any other questions for me? I'd be happy to answer them.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think. Yeah, I don't know. No.
Would you want to come back and do another episode?
Oh
maybe?
yeah! Do you tell I'm extroverted? No, I don't like to talk at all. I hope I gave you guys enough talking time or whatever. I know I go
No,
on
it's
sometimes.
good.
I have so many thoughts that come into my head and they just roll one right after the other. I'd love to be on this show. This is really a great project you're doing, and I can't wait to hear more people this season and who you meet. And you know, I really feel like you know, this is special, and I really like to come and sit down with people and show my individuality, and I definitely feel like I got to do that today, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And we appreciate you for coming on.
Really very much.
Anytime, no problem. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
And to all our people out there, thank you for watching / listening, depending on wherever you are. And we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Bye. Peace.